Being really close to the camera is really
scary,
unnerving, isn't it?
It is.
It was nicer having the
slight anonymity,
the distance and the sort of black. It was nice having the sky in the background. The whole point of doing it was just to have the sky in the background, actually. So we're inside now because it's cold outside
and dark,
and it's dark outside as well, and we're testing things. So there might be things. You'll hear weird noises in the background, like lightsabers and fridges opening and closing, and maybe a few shrieks and screams, and the faint pitter patty of pitter patter. Oh, that's what I wanted to say.
Yes.
The faint pitter, the faint pitter patter of little feet daintily skipping across the floor.
Daintily. As dainty as a three-legged hippo.
Yeah. After half a bottle of scotch. Right. There we go. You're making me laugh now. It's making me laugh. It's practical parenting, and we're not going to be on for too long this evening because we've had a rough couple of days, and we're just chilling out in front of the bookshelf. And we thought we'd ducks. Forgot to mention the ducks in the background and all the other farm animals. So, it's all going horribly wrong already. Anyway,
it's all going Zora.
Anyway, I wanted to tell the kids and anyone else who's local out there that it's the air show tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
In Sliach,
yeah.
Right? And so if we've got the window over there that you can't see, and she's not listening to that you can't see, and we've got the binoculars ready, so we're going to be looking for all the
looking at planes.
Look at planes and helicopters and people. Darling, the special area for the farm animals is through there. Oops, I just banged my mic. It's through there. So
all the ducks can go in that room.
Yeah.
And all the people can stay in this one.
Yeah, the people can stay here and watch Ezra.
Ezra Bridger.
There's
Yes.
They're both picking their noses. What were you doing? What were you picking?
I was squishing my nose.
There's a big difference between picking his nose
Picking and squishing, yes.
You know that's a sign that they're relaxed, right?
What, squishing noses?
Yeah, well, and picking them.
That's a sign that you're what's the word? What's the term?
Relaxed.
No, you're not relaxed. You're kind of... Oh, you're squishing your own nose.
Well, you obviously not somebody else's. It's like, what's this sign of?
I don't know. I mean, I've been relaxed. I've never found myself squishing my own nose when I've been relaxed.
No?
No.
Well,
no,
that's weird.
No, that's weird. I have on occasion been caught, but yeah.
I'm extremely hot now. You know, I kind of dressed for the occasion of going
outside. You thought we were going to be outside
for a while, and then I was lying over there, and I was kind of, and then I'm all hot. So
animal.
I might just take
animal
clothes off.
Animal hot.
It's okay if I take
Animal
my clothes
farm.
off.
You mean?
Yeah.
You mean go over there?
Yeah.
Take your clothes off.
And then come back.
And come back.
Obviously, I wouldn't be doing it with all the cables.
I bet you that would
around.
increase the views.
You think? I'm going to take my clothes off.
Or it might actually scare people away so that they don't ever come back. There's a cow. The duck has become a cow. Yeah. Moo moo moo. You're all black. You're wearing all black. You're like a rugby player.
That was kind of the first thing I picked out of them. What do you call it? Wardrobe.
It's a wardrobe. It's a wardrobe. Okay. This is a lot of nonsense going on. So it's practical parenting. You're going to pick up some really, really useful tips in a couple of weeks. Definitely not this evening. You might get some tips on books.
Yeah.
Now that we're in... Oh, look what I've got up here.
What's that?
We've got Gatto, John Taylor Gatto. Of course, Facebook's going to have all the writing backwards, right? So
you can read it for everybody.
yes, John Taylor Gatto, a different kind of
Teacher.
yeah, it's a fantastic book. Any of his books are fantastic. This is short essays on being a teacher and giving freedom to students. Every school should have a copy of this, and they don't. Every school should have a copy of this, and it would really, really shine a different perspective on things.
They should use it in pedagogical faculties.
They should.
Teaching.
Most teachers have never heard of him. I mean, it's. I'm always sending out articles and creating links and trying to get his material out to as many people as possible. I loaned a couple of essays to a teacher, and she took them away and never gave them back to me. Teachers, they can't be trusted. Teachers.
I thought that's a sign that was really good. Right?
Well, a book that's not returned.
Yeah, she enjoyed the book so much.
Or maybe they just didn't ever want to see me
decided
again.
To keep it. It was a she, wasn't it?
It was a she.
Typical.
It was a she. She was a she. Will, take the volume down one step, would you, mate?
Or two, perhaps.
That's fine. It's at 3. So that's pretty. So you're going to get all the explosions and the rockets and the
walkers. Would you call them walkers?
the walkers. You know more about the walkers are the ones with 4 legs.
The big, those are the big two-legged things that have soldiers in them.
I thought those were 4-legged.
And four-legged. Oh, okay.
Are they the 4-legged ones walkers as well? If anyone out there knows anything about Star Wars, you give us a thumbs up or a heart, or if anyone's watched any of the Star Wars movies. Then,
I'm getting there because Will always keeps telling me things about Star Wars.
I feel like I'm living on Tatooine.
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 Tatooine has 2 suns and 3 moons. I remember that one.
Is that even possible?
1 moon.
Can you have 2 suns? Is that even possible? Wouldn't you just would you then be like
orbiting around both of them?
Figurating around both suns or something like figurating.
Oh, you're probably figurating.
Figurating. I've created a term.
You're probably revolving around the bigger one, or something like that.
And we're going backwards and forwards closer to the smaller one. Or? Oh, okay. So.
You know, like you're just
the smaller sun would be going around the bigger sun.
You're just using one of the suns, but you can see both, probably. Do you know what I mean?
You're just using one of them.
Yes.
It's not like a barbecue set or something like that, right?
Maybe you're revolving around the smaller one, and the bigger one is far away.
3 moons spinning around your planet, which is spinning around 2 suns.
Maybe.
How complicated is that?
Maybe you've got a big sun, right? And it's got a small sun that's running around the big sun, and you've got a planet that's running around the small sun, and that way people on the planet can see both of the suns.
I'm imagining planets with legs.
You were right there.
Running. It's great. Even one of the chapters is only 1 page, and it's stunning. It's a stunning page. Or it's 2 pages, I think.
Don't read it.
No. No.
People are going to be bored by reading.
It's like get a copy. I bought mine second hand because I'm
you have to read it. If you want,
like that.
G will lend it to you, but you'd have to return
You have to come
it.
round. You have to come round to the flat, and I'll.
He'll let you copy it.
I'll let you look at it. I'll let you touch
He'll
it.
let you touch it. Drool on it.
Yeah, you have to bring me something. You have to bring me a bribe, though. Nothing is done without a bribe.
No alcohol. He doesn't drink.
It's a Slovak thing.
You can bring coffee.
I drink coffee. Did you buy that? You got that new coffee, right?
Yeah.
Extra strong.
Yeah.
Why did you buy extra strong? Do you feel like we need extra strong coffee?
You do.
Like our present. Like I do.
Yeah.
I should be more. That would.
No, you're always like, needs to be strong. kind of like
Well,
that.
what? So how would you describe your partner? Strong. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, that's all. Yeah. Okay. We could get into other books later on.
I need a massage.
So I talked about, and if you get the Daily Mail, the daily email, which you'll find the daily email where on my Facebook page, the free mail, I was talking about this author yesterday, Graham Hancock, Fingerprints of the Gods. Anyway, we'll get into that. Are you okay?
I'm just looking at the
You've moved my drink over there.
Well, I just pushed
Can I have it back?
No, well, okay.
No, back over here, not over there.
Well, I'm not the one who split it here. Come on.
Hi, Lubitsa. Hi,
There you
Laurel.
go.
There you go. If you've got any questions about parenting, teaching, education, if you want to know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, or
What's the weather going to be like
what,
tomorrow?
or how you should get to the air show, which is happening locally, don't go because last year there was a queue from Sleatch all the way into Europa and the roundabout. People were waiting hours and hours and hours to.
People were like, cars were parked at the edges of the road just to be able to see. Do you remember that? There's like a highway over road, what do you call it? And people were
For what? A
and
highway
people
over
were-
road.
yes,
Not a highway over road. It's an over.
and people were parked on the edge of the overroad so they could see.
The-
They were like coming out
bridge.
of the
A bridge. An over road. It's a bridge.
overroad is a great word. I just created
Overroad. Overroad. A bridge. Yes, it's a bridge. Exactly.
it. Sorry. Anyhow, so they were like coming out of
Overroads and
just
underroads.
parking and coming out of the cars and just going.
What's that? Yeah, people who don't want to pay to get in because they don't want to sit in their car for 3 or 4 hours and be told to park in the middle of a field that hasn't been prepared properly, which is what happened when I went there, because I took Will when he was really small and he fell asleep in the middle of the air show on the ground.
It's good at that.
I just had to.
It's good at falling asleep at, like whatever's happening. You can fall asleep.
It's good. It's good like that. It's good. It's good to have kids like that. Yeah, except I took him to the air show for fun, and he fell asleep just after we arrived, and then he slept, and then
You got the spec like
I took him home.
Oh, he was like 1.5 years old back then, right? Almost 2. I remember because I
No,
was
he was
to,
older. He was older than 2. No,
I think he was only 2. I was at the Gatto with
starting them early.
my girls, and you were like
Mm,
sent me a picture of
My
Will
girls.
lying on the
Solid.
floor somewhere, running on the ground somewhere, and you were like,
With a-
look,
with a
Will
blanket
the
on
air
top of
show." Yeah.
People were looking
He couldn't
at
have
me
been.
like
He couldn't have been older than that because we had Zora after that.
he was a bit confused
So-
by everything.
Yeah.
I thought he would like the big planes, but it was just really noisy. Do you co-sleep? Trying to
Yes.
get a 2-year-old to not keep getting in our bed. What's wrong with a 2-year-old getting into your bed?
No, we do co-sleep. Yes. We've got a 2-year-old. We've got a 2.5-year-old
No.
that we co-sleep with. Yes, we co-slept with her from the time she was born, and back
Wiggly. Have you seen those infographics about the graphics of positions?
Oh,
in
yes.
beds? Yeah, where it's like where it
Yeah.
starts off with the husband and the baby and the wife, and as the baby sort of does a sort of 360-degree turn, and
Yeah.
eventually the husband's on the floor and the wife's on the couch.
I was
and
laughing
the
at that
baby's got the
because
whole
we
bed.
we're always in the H position, aren't we? It's like G, me, and then there's Jasmine, and she's either kicking his head and
I know-
headbutting mine, or the
I
other
know
way around.
exactly what a football feels like, right? Because
Yes.
because I have woken up several times to be repeatedly kicked in the head.
Yeah.
We've got a
You've got another question. I can't
is that a
read.
sheep
Is
or
that
a
another
goat?
question?
Oh yes.
Because I can't
So
read.
honestly,
my glasses.
though, I need to. I remember what we said. Remember where the place for the animals is, and we're talking to people, darling. I know you can't see them. We can't see them. I hope we're talking.
You can't
to
see
people.
them either, but they're there
They're
somewhere.
there somewhere. I need to sleep or I spiral down. Yeah,
I know that as well.
yeah. We all kind of know that. I gave up sleeping we both gave up sleeping like 7.5 years ago, right? Because you can't.
What can you do?
Snuggly. Well, there you go. Snuggle more, wiggle less.
You can maybe you can if
Talk. Can you? I think I have this feeling about the programming of language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is that a lot of people, especially children, they understand, even though they're not focused exactly on what you're saying. So if you explain to the child what you'd like the child to do, I think that to a certain point it registers. You won't be able to have a conversation with your child about it, but if you explain and focus on the positive things, I like it when you come to the bed. I like it when we cuddle. It's really nice when it's still, but
But I need to sleep. Yes,
I need
you
to
can
sleep
just
in
tell
the
the child that you need to sleep. No, what I would probably do is I would do like what we did with Zora. What I did with Zora when we moved into the new house. Remember, and we didn't have beds. And we only had kids' beds, and we wanted the kids to sleep on the beds, obviously. We wouldn't want them to sleep in the sleeping bags on the floor with us.
Although
right?
we did originally start sleep by we originally still slept on the floor because we didn't have anything. No
yeah, but
furniture.
what we would do, she was 1.5 years old back then, I think. And she had a normal bed, she didn't have a cot. So I would just get into her bed with her. And I would stay there for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Sometimes she would fall asleep during that time and sometimes not, but I would always tell her that when she falls asleep, I'm going to go back to my bed so that she knows where I am when she wakes up in the middle of the night. And she would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have to get up and go to her, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just sit there and I would hold her hand and I would just say, it's okay, I'm here, and she would go straight back to sleep usually. So the question is if you're breastfeeding still or not. Because that's a
Well, if you're breastfeeding, you want the kid there, right? You don't
if
want to get up and then go
if you're
somewhere else,
breastfeeding and you want to solve the problem, then obviously first you would have to wean the child for the night, and then which is possible. It's possible to not breastfeed at night and still breastfeed in the morning and in the evening.
I've heard guys say that they feel uncomfortable when the baby's in the bed as well. They feel like the baby's taking their space.
Yes, well it is.
No. Well, it's taking their space, but it's not taking their place. There's a difference between those things, right? Because you want to bond with your baby, and the close physical contact, especially with naked skin, is really, really, really important, especially up to the age of.
I'm just checking. I didn't even know it was Laurel who asked the question. Hi. I didn't see. I didn't know. No, I just,
You sort of look like a.
We go way back.
Way back.
We go way back. Yes.
Is this something that I should know about, or?
No, we go way back to when I was 16, 17.
Oh, the crazy years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Crazy days, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So guys sometimes feel that the child is taking their place, but what they don't understand is that there are biological reactions happening.
When you put glasses on again, right?
Why?
So, because something's happening. We were wee babies. That's right.
It's babes, darling. Even with your glasses on. Babes.
Sorry.
Wee babes.
Yes.
Is she in that Stushkova video?
No, she's not in the Stushkova video. She's in America. You're in America right now, aren't you?
Is she? Oh, where is she? Okay, that's cool. But that means, what time is it there?
I don't know.
It must be. It must be morning. It must be morning over there.
It's morning.
Good
yes.
morning. Good morning. We slept the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay.
You and you and you.
You don't want people to be traumatized.
Spilled the juice everywhere. Right. 3 p.m. I was wrong. Good
3 p.m.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, just running down my leg.
That's okay. I'm sometimes still in my.
I'm
sometimes still in my dressing gown at 3 p.m. So it's technically morning.
For homeschoolers.
Yep.
For homeschoolers, morning lasts all day.
Sometimes.
Right. Yes. So,
Especially for
the
Zora.
biological reactions, right? The biology. So, children when they're very young are learning about the world. They're getting used to everything in their environment. And part of that is the smells and the hormones. Now women give off different smells from men, right? And so
We don't smell. We have a very nice
you're very
aroma.
you're aromatic.
Yes, like flowers and beaches.
I shouldn't use the word smell. Is that what you're saying? Smell has a bad connotation. You're right.
Yeah,
It has a negative connotation. Kids are napping and I'm procrastinating. We love that. We love procrastination.
Especially with a cup of coffee or something similar.
But yes, back
Kids
to
are napping like both at the same time. That is so cool. My kids never did that.
they took turns.
They took turns if they napped. Because
Okay.
Will stopped napping when he was 1.5 years old. And Zora stopped napping when she was 2. So...
And the other one is 2.5 and still napping.
And the other one is 2.5 and
'cause she
she
was
still
asleep on
naps. But she didn't nap when we were in Scotland, see? She took a break from napping for about half a year and then she
She
started
kind of naps
napping
when
again.
you nap. I mean, you kind of sit down and go, and then she goes,
Yeah,
and that sort of happens, right?
I do go
there's a
in
pause
the afternoon
in the day.
because I just have
Yeah.
to
Biology.
unwind.
Back to the youngest takes 2 naps. The oldest naps during second nap.
That's a great,
2 naps.
what do you call it?
I wish I could take 2 naps. That would be great. Oh, I'm just taking my second nap. That would be great. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the biology. So, there is scientific theory based on quite a lot of evidence that girls, when they're older, find it very difficult to form positive relationships, or young women, shall we say, find it very difficult to form positive relationships with young men because they're not used to the hormonal balance of being close to them because they didn't have that when they were young. Because part of the bonding experience is taking us back to when we were very young. Yeah, being very, very close to our mother
Okay.
and father physically. Yeah.
So
And
if you're not close to your father physically when you're young, you may not.
You can't bond closely later on because biologically your body's reacting against it because it doesn't see that as anything normal that's ever happened in your life. Yeah. So that for example, if there's a baby girl and a father, they should have a lot of the naked cuddle close time, so that the baby gets used to the male hormones being within the environment and considers it normal, because they develop a habit then, and later on in life, if they're not used to the hormones being there, then they
might
don't feel
not like to
comfortable.
Cuddle.
Yeah, they don't feel comfortable, that they find it very difficult getting close, and they can't bond and form a relationship because it doesn't feel right. And they find themselves later on, like in their sort of mid-20s, saying, well, this relationship just doesn't feel right, not realizing that it's not a problem with what's happening now, but it's a problem that goes way back to something that
And there
they
are
didn't
scientific
even-
studies about this.
Yeah, they looked at or they questioned families and they about the bonding time, and then they looked at what happened later on when people got older, and they tried to find correlations between.
Here in Slovakia, nobody bonded when they were kids,
Well, because
right? No, but nobody did that. They're not even with their mothers. But very, very seldom.
because very often the hospital
Okay.
took the kid away at birth and kept it isolated.
Yeah, and the
for a
kid
week.
always had to be in a cot, right? They wouldn't be in the fathers were usually, for the first 2 years, fathers would be in what do you call it, the service,
military service.
military service, so they wouldn't bond with their fathers.
Well,
often either.
that's perfect state programming, isn't it? Then, because then the state becomes, they all powerful
Yeah, but you can't
provider
really,
figure.
but it kind of proves that you can't really generalize it, because then you would just have a country full of people who can't who can't have relationships.
Oh,
And that's
welcome
not
to
happening.
Britain in the 21st century. Then half of all teenagers are in single-parent families in Great Britain. That's the official statistic. Half of all teenagers are in single-parent families, and it doesn't get better because it's one of those downward spirals, basically, and the statistics are increasing. So unless there's an unusual shift or a change in social habits, it's going to continue that way. You remember the thing about housing in Britain? I'm going to relate it to housing in Britain, right? The thing about
Hi, Yanka.
the thing. Oh, hello. Hope the kids are well. The thing about housing in Britain, like every time we went to the north of Scotland, there were all these big new housing estates being built, right? And it was always puzzling me, like if the population in Britain is technically not really increasing, the native population, because the birth rate is designed to keep it the same.
Bye.
Okay. Wish you could stay. Babies are waking up, of course. Have a great day wherever you are. Hey, copy and paste the link onto forums and boards and share with other people who might like that kind of information. Or a good way is to tag people in the comments. You write a person's name, and it brings them to the video, and they get a chance to see it. So that's pretty cool.
See you next time.
So yeah. So all these new housing developments, and I was thinking, who's living there? Who's going to be living in all these big housing developments if the population is not increasing? And then it clicked after a while that it's the families are splitting up.
Yeah.
And so where before you had one family and you only needed one place for one family, now you've got two because the father lives in one place, the mother lives in the other place. And so that's basically what happened. And they're small places because people who live alone don't need a lot of space, basically. I mean, it's sad, but that's the way that it's developing. That's the way the culture is going. But the biology of the contact early on in life is extremely important to what happens later.
Okay.
The physical contact in the first 2 years can have massive effects on the feelings of people bonding in relationships later on. And it does kind of make sense because you biologically adapt to your environment, right? And then you develop those habits, and then if something doesn't grow in the early years, sometimes it doesn't grow at all. The early years development is the most important development. So that's why I think that the co-sleeping is vitally important, and I take every opportunity possible to try to cuddle the kids. And
it's one of one of those the pillars of the attachment parenting, isn't it? The skin-to-skin contact and sleeping. And
I co-slept with Will for quite a while as well.
Will was crazy wiggly though. It still is.
It's sugly. We've created the word sugly.
Yes.
So I don't like the word wiggly. Sugly. Yes, Will. Can I help you? Can I help you? You'd like to watch another Star Wars Rebels? Let's see. Do you think that we can make a deal? You make a deal. All magic comes at a price. What kind of deal? Oh, I don't know. I think the usual deal. I think pajamas, brush your teeth, and you can put another one on. What do you think?
That's a good deal.
I
Sounds.
have to get myself untangled.
PJs, you've tangled yourself in the hanging chair.
You can tell Zora about the deal as well if she can be bothered.
Yeah, or you can just fall asleep in the hanging chair there and wake up in the morning and not be able to move. Basically.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think we've answered the co-sleeping question. So thank you very much, Laura. It's very nice to have some input there.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that. If you've got...
You're right there, man.
the animal noises in the background again.
I had a little trouble with
Oh, I'm glad that
That's okay.
I'm glad you got up.
Go
right.
and fulfill your end of the deal, and then later we'll fulfill ours. Okay. There we go. So again, if you've got any questions about parenting, got any questions about education, I also do a lot of work with language and grammar. So we are expert grammarians. There you go. Is that a word?
Grammarian. I guess so.
It might be a place.
That's something to remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any pajamas to sleep in. I have to sleep in my underwear.
You don't have any pajamas?
That's super. Do that.
What happened to his pajamas? He's never had any.
But he does have pajamas, but
Yeah.
he usually sleeps in his undies in the summer.
Okay, because
Anyhow, 'cause
it's
it's
too
hot.
warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and it's more comfortable that way, anyhow.
Okay, so you don't need to put your PJs.
I've seen
on.
this. I've seen this funny. I probably showed it to you. This
What?
funny graphic on Facebook that I shared on the Unschooling group. Right? It's like public schools, and there was a picture of the uniforms, and there was like homeschoolers, and there was a picture of pajamas, and unschoolers. There was a picture of undies.
Unschoolers do it differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
You found your PJs. You're gonna be super hot in those.
Yeah, they're nice PJs, but
You're gonna melt.
you probably just wear your undies, right?
Yeah. Or
Probably.
Zora doesn't even wear undies. Zora just sleeps without.
Well, why
Undies.
not? I mean, I used to wear pajamas all the time, right? And then one day on the school bus going to school, there was
You were while you were wearing pajamas. Right?
you just have to imagine a bus full of students going to school, and there was the radio was on because the radio is always on the school buses, and there was some discussion between people about, okay, so what do you wear in bed? What should you wear in bed? Like, are pajamas out of date? Should people be wearing them anymore or whatever? And one of the people said, I don't wear pajamas because I don't see the point in dressing up to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that kind of resonated with me. It's like, yeah, what's the point in dressing up to go to bed? Is it like
Well,
just in case someone comes to the door in the middle of the night, or
In Scotland, it
or
was
what?
so bloody cold at night that I wore pajamas, and I only had like
it's because the heating was never on?
one pair of pajamas, which was horrible. I would
Well-
still have to wear it because I was so cold. I was
You-
so happy that I had pajamas. I had this horrible pink onesie with black dots on it. You wouldn't want to
What?
see that.
What?
Yeah, I got it for Christmas from your mum.
The world's worst Christmas presents have been
I think it
perpetually
topped.
delivered
I
by
think
my
it topped
mother.
the slipper socks.
God, slipper socks. Slipper socks.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that anything can top the slipper socks, but
It's Scotland, everyone's frozen in winter, so they just
true.
give each other woolen stuff. So
Anyway, mothers of young children, for example, usually sleep in clothes. They don't.
because they don't have time to
They
take them
don't
off,
have
they
time
just
to
crash
take them off.
into the
Exactly.
bed.
Either they just crash into the bed, or what would happen is you're going to put your child down. So you lie down in bed with your child. You don't change your clothes because you're thinking, okay, I'm going to, stay here until he falls asleep, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to do the ironing or wash the dishes or finish the translation or whatever.
Paint the rooms.
And then you don't because you fall asleep, and then you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, hey, I don't have to put anything on. I'm already dressed. So there's a hidden bonus to that.
But you smell aromatically.
Like daisies and dandelions and peaches.
Yeah, well, you don't want to. Nobody likes to wake up in the clothes that they were wearing.
No, of course I don't. It's horrible. It's horrible, but it's one of those things that I talk to a lot of mums, and there's obviously a lot of us that has that happening to them sometimes,
Okay.
more often than not.
Yes, darling?
Yes, darling?
I only find these two.
Okay, well, give me the pink one. Come here.
I thought we decided she wasn't going to wear anything because it's too hot.
I thought you were just going to sleep naked as you usually do, but
Well, have you brushed your teeth? Right.
Yes.
I have an
Okay.
idea, Daddy. We'll let her
Oh, you're just going to keep your clothes on, right? Because
We will-
I'm gonna end up taking them off.
before you go into bed.
Zorinečka,
Oh,
I will
okay.
let you put
Okay.
this on. And if
Sweet.
you don't feel comfortable
Okay.
in it, you
Yeah,
can
you can
take
put
it
on another
off,
Star
okay?
Wars Rebels.
Can you put this on by
My butt
yourself?
feels like it's sitting on the floor even when it's in the air.
Right, that's weird. Anyway.
That means
we-
you've been sitting too much today. Sorry,
Maybe I've
did
been
you hear what I
sitting
said,
on
darling?
too much today.
Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I mentioned this book
Well, if it doesn't have pants,
the
then
other
you
day.
can't
If
wear
you
it.
saw one of the
can
other
you?
presentations, this is working the system. It's very, very
Well,
hard.
darling, the pants
get
are
this
probably
book.
still in the wash.
But I picked up in a like a second-hand bookshop in Britain, Working the System by Francis Gilbert.
Can you
How
put
to
it
get the very best state education for your child. It explains how to get your child through the state system. If your child is in the state system and you're not happy about it, but you can't do anything about it, you can still work your way through the system, basically. So, if anybody wants more information about it, leave a comment in the comments section, or you can get in touch with me, and I'll put you in
It's
that
actually
direction.
very interesting research.
What?
I think I should read it.
You haven't read it?
I've
I
not
marked.
read it.
Still got bookmarks about the interesting parts
Mm-hmm.
in it.
That's cool. I'll put it on
Health.
the list.
How health is affected by things. A grades. What every parent should know about mathematics. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a good book. A book that you should not buy. A book that you should not check out is this. Noam Chomsky on Miseducation.
Oh, is this the one that I bought for you?
Yeah, that's the one you bought for me.
Was it really bad?
Yeah, that's absolutely terrible.
Why?
First of all, only half of it is about education, and
Okay.
then they talk about like American interference in South American politics and yada
Okay.
yada yada. And it just doesn't have anything of any value in it, sadly. And,
That's
you know,
sad.
Chomsky's statements about education are just pretty logical. Like, yeah, of course, the state wants to run and control everything. Leftist gatekeeper, Mr. Chomsky. Oh, you're
I'm really good at buying books for you, aren't I? I either buy books that are horrible or books that you've already read.
well. At least you buy something. How does that happen? It can't be that difficult to get around that. You just ask me what I want.
But then it wouldn't be the surprise. I want to surprise you and I want you to have a look at it and you say, oh, I didn't expect this. This is so cool. How did you know? You know?
I'd rather
that
have
kind of
something
never
that
happens.
I need.
That's it.
Or really. Unless I walk around
boring.
saying, "Oh God, I wish somebody would buy me this book."
But
or
maybe you should before Christmas. You know? Drop hints.
drop hints.
And that'll make me feel great. Like, oh, I've noticed and I bought it.
You can't really drop hints. I mean, I'm just going to end up sending you an email with a link going, "This is what I want."
I know,
That's
that's
not
your
really-
idea of hints.
No,
Yeah.
well, I could give you a list. Right? Could give
You
you a
could
list.
write to Santa.
I could. I could. I might be a bit old for that, but perhaps never too old. Anyway, what else? What else are we going to talk about? I didn't mean to talk about the books and other things. We talked about Gatto. We talked about co-sleeping. What else? Anything? Nothing much has happened today, has it?
Today, I
I was
was
thinking-
lying down on the sofa all day feeling horrible. That's what happened. I haven't done anything
You're doing
at all.
very well this evening. You're putting a lot of energy into this. I was quite surprised that you've got the energy to do it.
I'm
Quite
just-
happy you've got the energy
I'm
to do
just
it.
sitting.
Yeah, I don't have any excuses because I woke up, turned the alarm off,
And went back to
and
sleep.
went back to bed.
Yeah.
Me who promotes getting up early as one of the best things that you can do for your
It
day.
is. It
Yeah.
is. But sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, but then I spent the rest of the day feeling really guilty because I'd lost that 2 hours in the morning, and I spent the rest
No,
of the
you
day trying
shouldn't
to get
because
it
you've
back.
done something for your health.
Sleeping.
Yes.
Oh,
Which is
it's-
actually very important. So
I don't
if you
know
can get
about
up
that.
early and go swimming, then, and not feel guilty about that, then you shouldn't feel guilty if you need to catch up on sleep and actually sleep. You
Yeah,
don't know about
well,
that. You
but
know
that's-
how many studies there are that prove that lack of sleep, regular lack of sleep, is really bad for your health.
Yeah, but life is so short. You're not sleeping.
Well, it's
for
gonna
the
be
moment.
shorter. You
well,
know,
maybe
if
maybe
you don't get
not.
enough
Maybe
sleep.
not if you get up early and do more stuff, right? If you get up early and do more stuff.
Well, you should go to bed early then.
I don't know that I've had really productive periods of my life where I've gone through with 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Yeah, me
And I've
too.
just
I think
know,
I'm
I've
just too old for that
I've
now.
been, and it's really productive, and I always feel guilty now if I oversleep, and I feel like I'm missing out on something. I want to get up first and get things done, and feel like I've got an advantage on the day, and
You do understand that the feeling of guilt is a completely useless feeling, right?
guilt is a useless feeling.
Yes.
I don't know. Religions have been using it for thousands of years quite effectively, I think.
For manipulation, yes, absolutely.
Why is it useless then?
Well, what's it going to help? Other than you
Religions.
feeling rubbish.
What's it going to help?
You know, how did feeling guilty all day help you in the long term?
Well, it'll probably make me not do it again for a while.
No, I don't think so.
You think I'm not gonna get
No,
up?
you're
tomorrow
not.
morning?
You're not. No, you are going to get up, but you're not going to get up because you have felt guilty. You're going to get up because you know that you need to get up in order to do stuff that you need to do.
Oh, you're saying the guilt is not part of that.
No, I don't think guilt's part of that. I think caring for your family is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the actual feeling of guilt is nothing but creating stress.
Okay, so what is guilt? When do you feel guilt, and why do you feel guilt? I mean, what is it then? I mean, if it's useless, I mean, useless things don't exist, right? Everything exists for a purpose. Everything exists for a reason, right? No?
When do you feel guilt, and why do you feel guilt?
There's a couple of people that I've met. I've wondered why they exist, but that's something
I
else.
have read somewhere. I don't know if this is going to make any sense because I'm really tired. Because I, for one person, got up at 4 this morning.
You got up at 4.
Yeah, because I had stomach cramps. And it wasn't nice. So I have read somewhere that
But you went back to sleep again on the couch, no? Or you didn't? You stayed awake?
I stayed awake. I
Or 4
did
o'clock?
go to sleep in the afternoon for about half an hour, but it wasn't much. Anyway, so
But you went to bed at you went
Go
to
to
bed 12:30, 1 o'clock, right? So you only slept 3 hours.
yeah. So
Ooh.
I have read somewhere that there's a difference between the feeling of guilt and the feeling of remorse, and that the feeling of guilt can be defined as. Well, now I really don't know if this makes any sense.
Yeah, but what?
That the feeling of guilt is basically saying to yourself that you're a bad person, but maybe this doesn't make
Well,
sense.
guilt.
And that
people who
remorse
feel
is,
guilty usually
remorse
feel
is for an action that you've done, and you want to do something better. And guilt is the absolute.
bad. Okay, so
But I don't know if this makes
okay,
sense.
I said that I felt guilty because I didn't wake up when.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get up when my alarm went off, right?
Yes, you could have felt
Even though I have to
maybe-
cross the room to turn off the alarm to get me out of bed, I
and go to pee as well.
I crossed the room, turned off the alarm, went to pee.
The healthy
Went-
thing,
got-
the
going back
the
into
healthy
bed.
thing would be if you get up in the morning, 8 o'clock, realize that
The
you
healthy
slept
thing-
over, okay, and slept over, slept through, slept on,
Over-
doesn't matter,
overslept.
overslept,
There we go.
and you think to
Fridge.
yourself, heck, I should never overslept because now I'm going to have a time lag, delay, and
It'll be late. I think it's what you want to
but,
say for everything.
well, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it again, and I'm just going to deal with it today, right?
I've got another solution.
And you move on, right? And the unhealthy feeling would
Okay.
be beating yourself up all day. I'm such a stupid person. Why did I have to oversleep? I'm so lazy or whatever. I mustn't do it again, you know,
Okay.
because that's the stressful, unhealthy feeling.
Right. Or alternatively, I could just get a box of Lego and scatter it across the floor,
That would
and
wake you up.
then I'd just be standing on the pieces of Lego, going.
I wanted That's a very creative solution. I wanted to get one of those alarm clocks that you have to run around the room and catch.
I like one.
What? That's called a child.
Yeah, I never could.
What do you mean?
You've never seen that? You've got an alarm clock on wheels, right? And seriously.
You'll be wandering from room to room.
And when
looking
it goes
for it.
off, it starts beeping, and the wheel starts turning, so it starts running around the room. I mean, you can even have it on the little stand or something, and it'll just jump off and start running around the room on the wheels, and you have to catch it and turn it off. There are also the alarm clocks where you have to solve a puzzle.
I'd
and
have a hammer next to my bed. Like,
when you have to solve the puzzle, that's like supposed to wake your brain up, right? But my brain doesn't work for about the first 10 minutes, so I would just be looking at it like this for the first 10 minutes.
oh my god! If you couldn't, if there wasn't like a button to turn it off, but you had to punch in some code, and the code changed every day, and you had to follow some instructions. By the time you got to the end of the instructions,
there's
you'd be so
this
freaked
kind
out
of thing that you always
you'd be
have to
awake.
solve. You always have to solve a problem, right? And you can't turn it off unless you solve that problem. So it's supposed to like wake your brain up. I probably wouldn't be able to. I just wouldn't be able to turn it off. I'm sometimes not able to turn off my alarm clock on the phone when I wake up, because it wakes me up in such a deep sleep that I'm really confused, and I just look at it, and I'm like, "What is this thing making noise in front of me?"
Yeah, and then after 2 minutes of that, I wake up going, "What the hell are you doing?" Right?
Yeah.
My just thinking like things that would get you out of bed, right? What was it called? It was called a tease maid, right?
Tease maid.
Tease
Just
maid.
want to see if we have
A
any.
tease maid was
anything new
something
there. No.
that you kept by the bed, and it would like the alarm would go off, and it would automatically boil the kettle to make tea, right? So if there was a coffee machine,
Oh, tease maid. Okay, I thought you were saying like tease, like TEASE, mate, MATE.
a tease maid. No, that's probably something to do with
Right.
with that company that has the bunny rabbit as its logo.
Tea.
Right.
Tea.
Tease. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, B9. Okay.
Right. No, if there was like a coffee machine like next to the bed, right, and the coffee was there and ready, nah, I'd probably still go back to bed and go like all the coffee's there.
And you would just think, I can drink it when it's cold.
I was telling myself all summer I'm going to make iced coffee and put it in the fridge.
And you've never done it.
And I've never done it, and it's not as if it's complicated. So there.
Is that what you would like?
What?
If I want to make you happy in the morning, if you find an iced coffee in the fridge. In the summer, obviously.
I'm not sure I'd find anything in the fridge. I mean, this is in the morning.
Okay.
Like, what?
Would you like if I
I've
stuck it under your
problems
nose?
finding the milk. I'm like, is that milk or is that something else?
Yeah.
So
Well, perhaps if you had to chase the
I couldn't even get a spoon to get the muesli out of the bowl. I'm just like tip it over and rake it out with my hand into the
It's a
bowl.
good thing we don't have muesli anymore.
I think everybody's missing it, though. And then, what was I doing? I was listening to something, and I was listening to something this week, and you know what? They were talking about the joys of having muesli for breakfast in the morning or something, and I was just, oh God, why me? Why this week when we don't have muesli? Anyway, it's good to vary the diet. It's definitely good to vary the diet and mix things up again. I hope that's not why problems exist. Anyway, so that's been going on. I've got to get up early tomorrow. Anyway.
Me too.
Because there's a meeting tomorrow that I haven't told you about yet.
Is it here?
Yes.
Is it 8:45?
No, it's 9:30. But it's
9:30.
basically the same thing. Right.
Tomorrow?
So, yes.
This is not Saturday tomorrow.
Saturday. Yes, well, it was supposed to be this morning, but due to companies, clients, and special exceptions,
It's
and
gonna be
ridiculous
tomorrow,
things
okay.
like there being 2 national holidays in the week next week, which you probably have
I have no
idea
idea.
about because you don't.
Of
even know
course,
it's Friday.
September, right? It's going to be the 1st of September.
Yes, remember the 1st of September.
Yes.
Because
And what else is there going to be?
29th of
August, of course.
And the
of
29th
course.
of August is a national holiday because...
Because... Don't do this to me, not today.
Oh, okay.
Not
right.
today.
Okay. Right. They have those streets named after the
Oh.
29th of August as well, don't they?
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Is that going to be the S&P then? Something to do with that? In the Second World War, something to do with that? No?
Something to do with that. It's something to do with something to do with that.
Something to do with that.
It's in my diary. It's red days in the diary, basically.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
that, you see. I have,
So if you're in Slovakia, which some of you are
yes.
in Slovakia.
Please
remember
tell
there's
us
two-
what's going to be on the 29th of August.
There's those two national holidays next week. So most people just take the whole week as a holiday because those 2 days fall. One of them's on Friday, I think, and the other one's on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And so
They just
Wednesday.
take the long weekend.
yeah, they take 3 days holiday and they get a whole week basically. So Slovakia having more national holidays than any other country in Europe, basically.
Isn't that great?
It's great if you work for the government because it means you don't
Because
have
you
to
don't
go
have
to
to
work and you get paid anyway.
Yeah. But if
it's
you
a bit
work
of
for
a-
yourself,
It's a bit of a screw job for independent business people, though, because you miss so many days during the year, and you know that ends up like being 10 days of business that you lose. Remember the guy in the shop?
maybe like Scrooge.
Screwed, not Scrooge. Anyway,
Scrooge.
anyway, Mick Duck, right? The guy in the shop, right? You talked to the guy in the shop
Yeah.
when it was the
Yeah.
national holiday day, and the government forced.
Yes.
What happened? The government
The
forced.
government forces businesses to close during national holidays because all the employees have the right to be at home. Therefore, all the employers just have to close it down because they have to let the employees to be at home, basically.
Even if they want to work, right?
Therefore, you
And
can
some
you
people
can really
need to
only
work.
have your business open if you don't have any employees. Like what that guy, the guy in that shop.
Little
He said
shop,
that
the
he's
little
only open.
independent
Yeah.
Potravini,
Yeah.
grocery
He
store.
said that he's only open because he's there by himself. So he couldn't
so
have his.
he's self-employed, basically.
Yeah, he couldn't
Right.
have his because he does have employees, but he said he couldn't have his employees there to work for him because that was against the law.
That's insane. The government is telling you that it's against the law for
Yeah.
people to work.
And he said he had a massive massive amount of people coming to his shop and buying from him because all the other shop had to be closed.
And think about all the products that like supermarkets are losing, right? I mean, supermarkets have got all this so-called fresh produce, right? And all the fruit and vegetables and everything, and the milk products, right? And everything and meat and other stuff has just got to be thrown away, basically.
So this guy's just sitting at home right now,
The
right?
government's
And
just
he's like,
forcing people to waste food.
I'm so looking forward to next week, right?
Yeah, because he's got those two national holidays. He's
Because
going
it's
to
going to make a lot of money.
profit on that.
Yes,
Oh, good for him and his little business.
yes. I came in the evening.
That's the one with "eat" written on the side of it.
Yes.
It's got a little shop with these big letters, in big white letters on the side. "Eat."
Yeah. I came to him. I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera because I've put
Why are
my
you?
foot here like this.
Why are you moving the camera?
Because this is really comfortable.
Oh, you're
I'm not going to do it.
You're holding. You can hold this. It's okay. This one won't fall over.
You sure?
Well,
Yeah, but then when I laugh, I wiggle it. Anyhow.
just a little bit.
I asked him if he was busy during the national holidays, and he said half the town comes here
I can-
because everybody else apparently is just as disorganized as I am.
and they all need to buy things at the last minute.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
they forgot that there's national holiday.
Heaven forbid all the shops should be closed one day. I mean, imagine the panic.
It used to be that way. You had to order bread for holidays.
Order bread.
Yes.
For what?
Well, in little villages, like in Potravini, right? When I was a kid, in the Potravini in Horné Orešany, if you wanted to have bread,
Upper nut.
yes, in the Upper Nutter village, you had to order bread. You had to come to the shop, like there was Christmas, right? And you had to go to the shop a week before Christmas, and you had to say, okay, on the 23rd, the last day you're open, I'm going to come here and I'm going to take 2 loaves of bread or 3
You
loaves
go
of
to
bread.
the shop and pre-order the bread.
Yes. So they would put it down, say, so that you had enough
it-
bread because
Was this
you
after
were buying
communism or
bread
was
for.
this after communism?
No, it was after communism.
after communism.
Yes, because it was a small shop and they weren't open at the weekends, right?
Is that
It
because
was
they were
the
only baking just enough bread?
ordering? Probably they weren't there wasn't a bakery there, so
Yeah, but they would be ordering it from someone who would be baking just enough.
Yes, probably,
Okay.
probably because why not? And also people would order more for the Christmas because they wouldn't be able to get there during the Christmas because usually they would be closed for say 3 or 4 days in a row, right?
Okay.
So you had to really plan it and organize it so you've got enough.
Oh my God! Wow.
So they had to pre-order the bread because people would buy more, not less. You understand? He wouldn't be making just enough. He would have to make extra.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, people don't know how lucky they are. Or
Yeah, it's
as my friend in London used to say, people don't know they're born. Right? They don't know how lucky they are that they can just walk into a shop and pick up anything off the shelf and have
some
whatever it is
villages,
that they
even
need.
now, okay, some villages will have shops that are only open on certain days. If you've got a really small village, you have Poltravini, it's only going to be open Monday to Wednesday, say, or
Magdalena.
something like that. So there you go.
There's
So I've heard.
there's an invite button that's popped
Uh-huh.
up on the screen.
What does
Right.
it What does it
What
do
does that
when
mean?
you
What
when
is
you
it?
press it?
I don't know, but it says this person's already watching.
Yes.
So why like I would invite someone
Who's not watching?
who's not watching to come and watch.
I
Will,
don't know.
can you go and
I'll
there's,
go.
there's a voice. There's
I'll
there's
go.
there's a there's
I'll
a
be right back.
there's a distant voice that's crying for a little bit of assistance. It's okay, Will. Oh, you're going over there. Okay, right. So, yeah, people don't know how lucky they are. They don't know that they don't know they're born basically because there's all of everything is just laid out in front of people now. You walk into a shop and pick up something, exchange some money, walk out with whatever you want. No, it's pretty incredible. I always go back to the story my mother told about Christmas. She told me that she got an orange for Christmas once. I mean, it was an orange or tangerine or something like that. And she got a little doll as well. But that was it, the little doll and the orange or the tangerine. Can you pause it, Will? Thank you very much. So it was a little doll and an orange or a tangerine, and that was Christmas. That was it. And people just walk into people throw that kind of stuff out now because they buy more than they need. They don't need it, and they end up throwing the stuff out because they're getting what they don't need. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's nice to live with more. It's in the sort of Western democratic system that we live in. You need to produce more than you actually need. I mean, that's part of the system, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We need to do that in order to survive. Well, what do you think you should do now that that's finished?
I thought he was. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Can I have one more?
I don't think so.
Have they had enough? Because I was
think-
thinking that we were going to talk a little bit more, and because it's only 20. How long are the episodes? 20 minutes?
I think so. You think one more?
Well, if they promise to be
No.
quiet, what do you think, Zora? Would you like one more?
If you want to see how long it is,
Press the info button, and we'll see how long the episodes are in the background there.
all I have to do is click this one.
Press the info button, and we'll see how long the episodes are.
Okay.
Okay.
So did we find out what
22 minutes. It's only 20 minutes.
happened? Okay.
It'll be
then,
look. It'll
okay
be 10 o'clock, right?
then. Mhm.
Okay, guys, you can have one more, okay? But then, wait, deal. All magic comes at a price. I'd like to make a deal with you. And the deal is that when it's finished, you're going to be a good role model for your sister, and you're going to go to bed, and she's going to follow you. What do you think, Will? Yeah. Now, Zora, when this is finished, I'd like you to go straight to bed. Yeah?
She knows.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
She's been tricky lately.
She has. She's been fibbing and tricking.
She's been
hasn't
pushing the envelope, as they say. But she's been she puts on the sweetest smile that you've ever seen.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's
yeah.
the most horrible thing. Right.
Yeah, I've noticed that she does that. Yeah. And then she'll go, "No, I didn't do that." Right.
She's sneaking around as well. I've noticed that today. Like I went into the room to see what was happening, and she was like running in hide.
Jasmine now sneaks as well.
Sneak, yeah.
She sneaks. She finds a tablet, right? And she'd be as quiet as a mouse, so that nobody finds out that she's got a tablet. Yeah, not Scottish tablet.
Not Scottish tablet, which is food, actually. They actually eat tablets in Scotland.
So yeah, she would just.
Patrick.
Hi.
We love you, mate. Long time no see. Right, you have to come round. You have to come round sometime, mate. Definitely.
Is that the same Patrick that worked on the toilet?
That sounds really dodgy.
That's what you've been doing, no?
Yes, he helped. He helped build our throne.
There you go.
Yes, we elevated the toilet because all the toilets in this country, like all the furniture.
We promise you won't have to do it again.
Ever.
If you come to visit.
Ever, but he can fix anything. He's like he's one of those Slovaks that can do anything, right? Your
Not like
car
Bob
breaks
the Builder or, something like that. Can we fix it?
Yes, we can. I don't. I was never into Bob the Builder, so I thought that was Obama.
Oh yeah, it was actually. Yes.
Obama the Builder.
Yes, he did the same thing. He watched Bob the
He basically did.
Yes, he watched Bob the Builder, and that's where he got his campaign from.
Can we fix it?
No, isn't that genius
yes,
though? Isn't that genius though? Because
it's the same mental age of
it's like a
viewers, and
children's
supporters,
thing.
Anyway, yeah. Obama would be really good on children's TV. He could. He's also be really good as a Pied Piper as well. Anyway, shut me up before I say something.
Shut up! You're going to offend millions of people.
I can't help it. I was just
born
to
offend.
I was born
to offend.
I was born to walk the line.
Right.
Yes. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time.
Now singing. Okay.
Johnny Cash.
What we're gonna do? What we're gonna talk about? We were saying something interesting before I started talking about toilet. No, I forgot. I forgot.
I don't know. Pat. I was
thrown off
by the fact that Patrick came into the conversation, and I know that Patrick's got a daughter, and I was wondering if he's got any questions about parenting that he would like to. He probably knows more because he probably knows more about it than we do. Actually, he's probably just like a naturally gifted kind of parental kind of character. So he also had a good set of abs last time I saw him. He's been working out. So that was.
I thought you said apps, like applications.
Applications.
I was thinking.
Well, abs could be apps, right? I guess you could use it to your. I
have a great set of abs as well. Only they're hidden under the fat layer.
Meaning you don't really have a fine set of abs. What use are abs? Isn't that a ridiculous thing to have?
Abs.
Yeah, I mean it's just
you need
they're
them
kind
when
of pointless.
You need them when you give birth to babies.
So that's why all men have them. Well, not all men want. All men want to have them.
You need them for every. If you didn't have abs, you would probably fall backwards. You couldn't walk.
You couldn't walk without
You
abs.
couldn't walk without abs. Abs hold you upright, right? You'd probably just.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about the overdeveloped abs. Right? I'm talking
Oh,
about
you mean like a
six-pack.
six-pack?
Six-pack.
There's no
Six-pack.
use in
Six-pack.
having six-pack.
Eight-pack.
It's just-
10-pack. 12-pack. Whatever they have.
I don't know.
You know who else had abs?
I guess people think it's
Milan.
nice, good
Milan's
looking.
got abs.
You know,
Who-
if you just like the way it
Got
looks.
big
I mean,
muscles as well.
why do women get fake boobs? Because they like the way it looks. So
Oh well, there's
You know.
because the
I mean, I know there's a big difference between
because
fake
they
boobs
live in
and abs, but
they get big boobs because they live in fear of the fact that people will realize
They're aging.
they're not that intelligent. Because I mean, if you're smart and intelligent, you don't need big boobs, do you? Because people are just gonna love you for who you are, right?
I don't know. I don't
It's a
know.
plas-
Some people
plastic
just,
thing.
I imagine some people do it because they what's the word? I can't remember the word in English. Because they
Lack self-confidence.
something
They
like
got too
that.
much
Because
money?
they take their self-worth from what they look like. Not take, but
The vain.
they think they have to look good so that they're worthy.
Look, there's
of
nothing.
anything.
There's
But-
nothing wrong with.
On the other hand, there are
Looking
women that just want to look good. I mean, I know women that would get their boobs done after having 4 kids just because they like it more.
Don't you have to get them taken out? Don't you have something stuck in that you have to get taken out later on, or does it stay in forever?
What do you mean, the silicone padding?
Yeah.
Oh, it just stays in forever.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it just eventually just kind of hang down like a?
I don't know. I've never had them done, so I don't really know. I think you might need to change it
like
after
a
10
balloon
years or
that's full of
something.
water.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Don't know how it works. Don't know how it works. I
You lose the
imagine
feeling
that
in your
if
nipples, apparently.
do you?
What would be the point? What would be the point of looking sexually more attractive if you couldn't feel the sexual excitement thing?
I don't know if you lose the feeling in your nipples. I have no idea. But I know a person who successfully breastfeeds her children while having implants as well. So
Excuse me?
breastfeeds her children while having implants.
That can't be healthy.
Silicon. If it's just surgical silicon, if it's just silicon, right?
Just.
Silicon
Well,
should be all right, theoretically. It
It's probably not good to have
theoretically
anything.
shouldn't leak any chemicals into your body. Theoretically. I don't know.
I don't know. It
I
depends.
don't know how it works. I have no idea. I've never researched it. I never had a
Depends.
reason to research it, so I honestly don't know.
Depends how much they're used, I suppose.
What do you mean used?
Well, the more you use it, they get worn out, right?
What would you use your boobs for, other than breastfeeding? I mean, what are you doing, darling? I'm just using my boobs.
I don't know. It's like a sexual thing, right? No?
Use boobs. Oh my god.
Like the guy could be massaging away, right? And
Could be.
and it could just pops one open or something. And then
Actually, that's really dangerous. I've heard about a woman that happened, not while massaging away, but I've heard about a
you don't know.
case
I mean,
when
you
that
don't know.
actually happened, and she had serious health trouble.
Because it popped open.
Yeah, she ended up.
I thought
in
you
the
said it was
hospital.
just kind of. Okay, so.
But
you-
yes,
you
but
pro-
you've
you
got something in there that you don't want to leak into your bloodstream, do you?
Yeah, but you probably don't know that many women that have had that done, right?
No, maybe.
But you know, amongst that group, you know one who's had a problem, right?
Yeah,
That's not a good average, right?
probably not. No,
That's not a good
I don't know her.
statistic.
I've heard about her. A friend of a friend. Okay.
So it could be one of those things which is not true at all then.
No, that's quite a.
No. If you created,
No.
you just created a word there. No.
It was quite a
No.
reliable source. Anyway,
It's like no and yo together. No.
new man.
That just confuses me. No. What do you think? No.
Anyway, enough about boobs. Talk about abs.
Abs. Do you want to see my abs?
I've seen them. Thank you.
Ah, okay. Right.
He was asking me. He wasn't asking you guys.
No. Anyway. Talk about what abs?
Nobody has seen my abs because they're hiding.
You're working on them. You're working on them.
Not today, though.
No. Oh, I got the sit-up bench over there.
Sit-up bench is evil.
What?
I just don't like it.
Well, I put it in the middle of the floor so I would trip over it every day and use it. That hasn't worked. So it's there hiding behind the plant.
Yeah, and I just couldn't be bothered to take
It was
it
used
out.
as a slide. The kids used the ab bench as a slide.
It was a good slide. Anyway, I just don't like to exercise on it. I just don't feel comfortable with my lower back bending.
Well, you do it
that way.
slowly at first, step by step, right? Little bits.
I guess I'm just not.
Incremental stages.
I'm not at that step yet.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Or a single sit-up.
Single sit-up. Yes. 1,000 abs begin with a single sit-up. But no, that's a really good point there actually about doing little things, right? 365 days in a year, right? I think. Plus minus. Okay.
Plus minus.
Right.
And 1 quarter.
Right. If you did 1 sit-up on day 1,
Mm-hmm.
complicated mathematics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And day 2, you did 2 sit-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Day 3, guess how many sit-ups you did?
15.
No. No, because you'd be in hospital. Right.
Probably would.
Right. But you did 360. You'd be doing 365 by the end of the year.
You think
Just
it
in
works
one-
that way? Well, it doesn't work with push-ups.
Well, do you know how
You
it
know?
would work? Oh, it does. You haven't done it. Of
It
course it
doesn't.
works. It does because eventually at some point you have a rest day. And you come back after the rest day and you do 2 more to cover for the rest day. And
I
it does
ca- I
work
can't.
like that.
Look, I've been
Okay.
working on my push-ups, right? I couldn't do 1 push-up when I started, like 0, none, okay? And now I can do about 10, right?
Okay. And
But there is
wait,
no
how long have
way
you been
that
working on that?
3 months.
Okay.
There
so-
is
so
no way
12
that I
weeks.
could be able to do 20 in 10 days.
So 12 weeks you've done 10 press-ups, right?
Yeah.
That's basically 1 extra a week, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah, is it?
basically, right? So
Okay.
it's 52 weeks in a year. There's no reason why you can't do 50 by, the
2
end,
push-ups. Yeah, I know.
by the end of the year.
I know.
There's no reason why you can't do it.
I know. I'm just saying
It's
that
just-
it
it's
doesn't
a mental
always
effort.
work, you know. The way you said 1 a day.
What-
This is
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Some
This
kind of
is
special
sit-up.
signal.
a sit-up.
You're imagining yourself,
Yes.
right? That's
Doesn't mean you
and
can.
1,
Doesn't mean you can do 1 extra
2,
sit-up every day.
3. You know you do them with your whole body, right? Not just
It's not just hand
not
exercise.
just your hand. All right.
That might be the problem. Why the abs are still hidden.
Hmm. Okay. Hey, I'll tell you what. You know that the head flick it. It's got a head and a tail,
heads
right?
or tails. Okay.
Right. You got a coin over there, right?
Yeah.
Heads, flick it up, and if it's heads, I win, and if it's tails, you lose. Okay. Right. Flick it. So what is it? What is it?
Heads.
Heads, I win. There you go. The baby is awake. She is making noises. Sometimes she does that just because that's what babies do. So there we go. It's practical parenting. It's lessons from the middle of the chaos. And if you've got any questions, write them in the comment section, and we'll be very happy to deal with them in our here or in our next session. We'll be finishing in a few minutes, because we have to go and do what we do in the evening, which is watch Once Upon a Time. So heads, I win again. Okay, cool. So we're going to be going, and we're going to be we're going to prepare a snack and chill out on the couch and watch that. I got a crossover. These videos. I'm going to put on YouTube, so I'm going to download them from Facebook and then upload them onto YouTube. So there's a heads again. I win 3 times in a row. Rock and roll. So we try to deal with anything related to parenting, education, families, or any other issues that are bothering you. We talked about a lot of stuff today. We talked about a lot of cool stuff. And it really helps when people interact. So please chat with the people in the chat. Share the information. Share your knowledge. Oh, is she coming to join us? She's going to sit on the couch. Okay. That's nice. There. We'll turn the volume down one bit, please, because we got one more. Tails, you lose. Right. Well, you will be able to hear it because I can hear it very well, and I've got earphones on. It's got text on the screen as well. You can read the subtitles, Matt. Well, the loudest thing in the room is you, mate. Chill out. It's late. Okay, keep the volume at the same level.
Are we,
We're concluding.
We're concluding.
We're concluding our discussion.
Saying bye.
Yeah. And I think you've done really well this evening, because I know you weren't feeling 100%, and I think you put a lot of energy and a lot of ideas into it. And, because it was like 50-50 if we do it or if we don't do it this evening. And I think it's been, it shows that it's well worth, heads I win again. So, so it shows that it's well worth, putting the effort into to do the things.
Yeah. Are you like doing a pat on the head now? Good girl.
Good doggy. Throw you a bone too.
Going to have this drink.
Well, I'm actually expressing gratefulness. I'm expressing gratitude at the opportunity of being able to be here and sit with you.
I appreciate your expression of gratitude.
She said like a robot. Right. Okay. What else? Practical parenting is what we try to do. Bits of peaceful parenting in there, and we try to share the knowledge that we have. And we hope that you're going to share your knowledge with us as well. If you've got anything you think that we should read, copy and paste it into the chat section, the comment section, and we'll get around to it. And if you haven't checked out our other videos, this is I think we're probably at episode 7 now.
Is it?
So
already?
yeah, I know. Yeah, because I said we're going to knock them out one after the other, and we're gonna get through this and do it and kickstart everything. So we've done that.
I just bumped into my mic. Sorry about that.
Random comment there.
Don't spill it again.
Don't spill it down my leg again. Okay. Right. Exactly. Yes, that's true. So,
It's so evil.
What?
You're so evil.
I have to learn from somebody, don't I? So,
to be evil.
No, to take every advantage that you can get, which was in the Daily Mail. So check out the free mail. I'll post a link in the comments section. Check out our posts on Facebook. There's live stuff every day. You're shaking the camera. Okay.
Sorry, I need to rest off it
It's
again.
okay. I was planning to do something completely different from what
Yes,
we
you were planning to
did.
do something crazy with
the Facebook stuff. I was planning to just play around with the Facebook images and have some fun. But we could do that.
You could put on something funny for us saying bye. Right? No.
Nah, we've done very well. We don't need to add value. We've added a lot of value already this evening. We can do another one. We can do the other one another time. Right. It's bye from us, and
We'll see you later. Tomorrow, perhaps.
Yeah. I've got ideas, but I don't want to tell them about it. So I'm gonna have to finish this and tell you about it.
Zip it.
Yeah. We don't want to give away all our secrets. We've got special stuff planned. Right?
We've already given away quite a lot, haven't we?
Well, if you can't share what you know,
Then what's the point?
What's the point, right?
Yes.
What's the point? What's the point of going to the grave with all the knowledge inside you and not sharing it with other people? There's no point, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll be here, but we're going to turn this off and just continue our chat because
We'll just top up the glasses.
except we don't drink.
What do you mean we don't drink? You've got juice there, and
We
I've
don't
got
drink
my
alcohol.
I've got my stomach medicine.
Right. Dude it done. Sharing is caring, so share it out there. Be cool, guys. Have a great evening, and yeah, don't drink too much. 'Cause it's
Waving
Friday
above the
night.
hand.
That's even one to think
See
about
ya.
that statement. Okay.